I was labeled too broke to marry by my pregnant girlfriend, only for her baby's father to turn out jobless, while her dad now bankrolls my vision. Her father showed up with 2 attorneys, trying to strong-arm me into accepting fatherhood. I insisted on a paternity test, which revealed the baby's real father was her dad's top colleague. I'm a guy who coaches basketball for at-risk kids at a local community center. The pay isn't great, but it covers my bills and lets me make an impact on these young lives. I've been at it for years, and I love the work. Most of these kids mirror who I was at their age, lost, unsupported, just scraping by. One of the first kids I mentored when I started out made it to the NBA. We still keep in touch. Every so often, he'll shoot me a message like, "Couldn't have made it without you, coach." That kind of thing keeps me going when the paycheck doesn't. My past isn't exactly a feel-good tale. My dad walked out when I was 7, my mom fell into trouble, and I bounced around foster homes until I turned 18. After that, I spent about a year living in my rundown Chevy Silverado, which I worked my tail off to buy while employed at a mechanic shop through high school. That truck was a wreck, but I earned it myself, so it meant something.
Then there's my girlfriend, Sofia.
We met at a charity basketball event where her father's law firm was flashing cash. She works there too, though everyone knows her dad, Richard, handed her the job. She's never had to check her account balance before buying anything. "You're like this raw gem I stumbled upon," she once said.
So genuine, so real.
It felt like I was some kind of exhibit in a gallery of ordinary folks. But I fell for her anyway. Her smile would light up when I picked her up. She'd listen to my stories about the kids I coach, curling up beside me at night. For the first time, I felt like I had a place in the world. "You're too good to her," my assistant coach and best friend Mia would say. "That princess has never earned anything in her life." Mia's been my rock for over a decade. We met in community college, both chasing scholarships. She's like my sister, calls me out, has my back, no matter what. She's also the funniest person I know, with sharp-witted comebacks that make even the grumpiest teens crack a smile at practice. "Just because she wears designer heels doesn't mean she's above you," Mia would say. "You're the real deal, not her." I'd brush it off, but deep down, I knew she was right. Still, I was saving for a ring. Sophia deserved better, but it was honest money. 3 months' worth of my salary, like they say you should. I stashed it in my dresser and waited for the right moment. Sophia kept dropping hints about our future, showing me pictures of houses in neighborhoods way out of my league, joking about her ticking clock, asking what our kids might look like. "Think I'd be a good dad?" I asked her one night. "The best," she said. "You're amazing with those kids you coach. Our kids would be lucky." Our kids. Those words echoed in my head for days. I planned to propose at my buddy Nate's engagement party, thinking it'd be special to celebrate 2 couples starting their lives together. Nate's party was at a swanky rooftop lounge downtown, the kind of place where the menu doesn't list prices because if you need to ask, you're out of place. His fiancée comes from money, and the room was packed with people who used summer and winter as verbs. I felt like an imposter in my one decent suit, the one I wear to funerals and interviews, but Sophia was in her element, gliding around with that fake laugh you hear in rom-coms. "Man, you look like a dog at the vet," Mia said, standing beside me in a simple black dress. Her girlfriend was off schmoozing somewhere. "Need an escape plan?" "Nah, I'm good."
Just observing. He patted the small box in my pocket. "Tonight is the night."
Mia's eyes widened. "For real?"
"Tonight."
Nate's cool with it. Said I could use the mic after his toast. "Well damn," Mia said. "You sure? Proposals don't come with a refund policy." Before I could answer, my phone buzzed. One of my center kids was in crisis. His dad had relapsed again. "Gotta take this," I told Mia. "Cover for me?"
Always, boss.
The call took longer than expected, 20 minutes of calming the kid down, promising to pick him up for practice to give him a break. When I got back inside, I slipped through the quieter part of the venue to avoid chit-chat. That's when I heard Sophia's laugh. She was in a cozy lounge area with her dad's firm colleagues. "So when's Loverboy popping the question?" one guy asked. "You've been with him, what, 2 years?" There was a pause.
He froze just out of sight. God, can you imagine?
Sophia's voice dropped to a conspiratorial whisper.
Me, Marié-tu Ethan?
Please. My stomach sank. But you two seem solid, a woman said. He's got that scruffy charm. He's just a fling, Rachel, Sophia said. A little adventure, like when I tried keto for a month. Laughter rippled through the group. Don't get me wrong, he's sweet.
Great in bed.
And his stories about foster care and living in his truck? People love that at dinner parties. Look at me, dating a regular guy. So enlightened. The ring box felt like it was searing through my jacket. But marriage material? Sophia's tone sharpened. Come on. He's a basketball coach for messed up kids. Drives a beat-up Jeep. Shops at discount stores. What would we even talk about at fundraisers? How he taught some street kid to shoot hoops. More laughter. My hands shook. It was like watching something precious slip away. Dad would lose it if I brought Ethan home as fiancé material. Can you imagine the prenup talks? So, Mr. Carter, what assets do you bring? Your hoodie collection and gym shoes. The group roared. I stood frozen, their words shredding every part of my life like it was a punchline. So, what's your next move? Someone asked. I don't know, Sophia sighed. It's been fun. Different. But it's time to get serious. You know that new senior associate, Derek? Divorced, no kids, beach house in Nantucket. Dad's been nudging me to grab drinks with him. That was enough. I walked out of the party without a word to anyone, not even Mia. The ring box weighed heavy in my pocket. Outside, I texted Mia, kid emergency came up. Had to bounce. Tell Nate I'm sorry. Then I blocked Sophia's number, drove home, and sat in my dark apartment for hours. I vanished. I went off social media, told the center I needed personal time, and cut contact with everyone except Mia. She showed up the next morning with a pizza. What the hell happened? She asked, pushing past me. You look like death. I spilled everything. Mia listened without cutting in, which for her is a rare feat. That conniving witch, she said when I finished, grabbing her phone. I'm calling her now. I snatched it from her. No. I'm done. Done how? She asked. Done fighting, done explaining, done letting her see me hurt. I'm just gone. Mia studied me, then nodded. Ghost mode. Respect. My phone blew up with texts and calls from unknown numbers. Sophia realized I'd blocked her and tried reaching me through other channels, even emailing my work account. Ethan, please, why'd you leave the party? Why aren't you answering? This isn't like you. I deleted them all without responding. She showed up at my place, knocking, calling my name, crying in the hallway. I watched through the peephole, turned on the TV, and let her sit there until she left 2 hours later. Mia thought it was hilarious. Cold as hell, Carter. Ice cold. I wasn't trying to be cold, I just had nothing left to say. She showed her true colors, Mia said. Forget her and her fancy bags. Mia said it with this gleeful smirk, like she'd been waiting years to let that jab fly without me defending Sophia. I was starting to move on when I came home from the store and found an ultrasound photo taped to my door with a note. We need to talk. I'm 8 weeks pregnant. Please call. For a second, the world tilted. A baby? Was this for real? I stood in the hallway, grocery bags cutting into my hands, staring at the blurry image. Then I did the math. Sophia had been in DC for a work conference all week, 8 weeks ago, around late March. I'd driven her to the airport myself. I took the photo and note inside and finally called her. She picked up instantly. Ethan, I've been so worried. The ultrasound, I said. Is it legit? Of course it's legit. I wouldn't fake something like this.
I'm pregnant. Ethan.
We're having a baby. When did it happen? Because this says conception was when you were in DC. Silence. That's just an estimate, she stammered. The doctor said it could be 6 to 10 weeks, right? My voice stayed eerily calm. Either way, it's not my problem. What do you mean, not your problem? If I'm pregnant, it's your business. No, Sophia. You made it clear at Nate's party I'm just a fling. A detour. So whatever's going on, that's your deal, not mine. More silence. then a sob. You heard that? Oh my God, Ethan, I didn't mean it. I was just trying to blend in with those people. You know how they are. No, I don't. I'm just a coach for troubled kids, remember? What do I know about your world? Please, can we meet in person? I have something to show you, something that proves how I feel. I could have hung up, but part of me wanted answers. How could someone fake love for so long? Plus, I figured I should confirm the pregnancy. I leaned back, studying her. Something felt off. And the ultrasound is real, she added quickly.
I'm pregnant. Ethan.
The doctor must have messed up the dates. You know how it goes. I didn't, but I nodded. I need time to think, I said. Of course. She reached for my hand. I pulled back slightly. She acted like she didn't notice. Take all the time you need, just don't cut me out. There's a baby to consider. That night, I called Nate. I hadn't talked to him since his party. Dude, where'd you vanish to? He asked. Mia said it was a kid emergency. Yeah, something like that. Quick question, after I left, did Sophia say anything about me? A pause. Man, she was pretty drunk. Not cool stuff. Tell me. She was mocking you to her work friends, imitating your voice, joking about your job. My fiancé almost called her out, but we didn't want a scene. My grip tightened on the phone. Anything else? She was all over some guy in a fancy suit later. Think he's from her dad's firm. They left together, which was weird since you just left. I thanked him and hung up. Something wasn't adding up. Why write about us having kids when she clearly saw me as a joke? The notebook felt too perfect, too staged. So I called Mia. I need your take on something, I said. Go for it. Met with Sophia today. She showed me this notebook she says she's kept for a year, full of stuff about loving me, wanting a future together. A notebook. Mia said skeptically. For real? Yeah, fancy leather thing. Her deepest thoughts. Ever see her with one, or mention keeping one? A long pause. I'm about to break girl code here, but you deserve the truth. I've hung out with Sophia tons, even without you. She's never mentioned a notebook. I've dug through her purse for her phone or whatever, no notebook. You think she's lying?
Mia snorted.
Ethan, I could fake a notebook like that in a weekend. Buy a nice one, rough it up, write entries with different pens, smudge some eyeliner to look like tears. It's not hard. She's freaking out about being a single mom. That's why she's pulling this. What did the entries say? I told her about the kids, our future, how it clashed with her party talk. Total crap, Mia said. After you left the party, she was telling everyone she wasn't ready to settle with someone like you. Said she needed someone more established for her next chapter. You sure? Dead sure. I wouldn't lie to you, even if it stings. A loud knock cut me off. Sharp, commanding. I opened the door to Richard, Sophia's dad, in a tailored suit, flanked by two other guys dressed like him. Ethan, Richard said, voice cold as winter. We need to discuss something. He didn't wait for an invite, just walked in like he owned my place, his lawyer buddies trailing behind. Nice place, he said, eyeing my small living room with barely hidden disdain. Quaint. I didn't offer seats or drinks. Cut to it, I said. What do you want? Richard adjusted his cufflinks, a tell I'd noticed when he was about to flex his power. I understand my daughter is pregnant with your child. We're here to sort out how this will be managed. Managed? I said, leaning against the wall, arms crossed. Interesting word for your grandkid. One lawyer, a weasel-looking guy with thinning hair, stepped forward. Mr. Grant is simply concerned for his daughter and the child's well-being. Given your financial situation, we thought it wise to formalize support terms. The other chimed in, we've prepared some documents, child support visitation, that sort of thing. I almost laughed. And if I don't sign? Things could get difficult, Richard said, voice dropping. Custody fights are costly. Legal fees pile up fast, and your coaching income might not cover it. Not to mention, Weaselface added. Issues like this can impact employment. Background checks for those working with kids are strict. Any trouble could raise red flags. The threat was clear. You don't want this to derail your little life, Richard said, almost kindly.
My doctor, for some reason, care about you. She want you in the child's life.
We're just setting terms that work for everyone. Terms, I said, nodding slowly. I grabbed a glass of water from the kitchen for myself, offering them nothing. Here's my term, paternity test.
Before anything else. Richard's face reddened.
That's an insult to my daughter. Less insulting than you three showing up to bully me. You can't seriously think Sophia would. 8 weeks, I cut him off. The ultrasound says 8 weeks. She was in DC for your firm's conference. I have the ticket receipt. I drove her to the airport.
Silence it like a stone. Richard's eyes narrowed.
And I've got reason to believe the baby's someone else's. One of your colleagues, actually. The door opened. Mia strolled in, right on cue. Whoa, lawyer party, she said, dropping her bag on the counter. Did I miss the free coffee mugs? This is private, Weaselface snapped. Not really, Mia said, flopping onto my couch.
A metanes advisory.
You're a lawyer, the other asked, skeptical. Nope.
Just a woman who at seeing good guys get screwed by rich prick.
She flashed a grin.
No offense.
Richard looked like he'd swallowed a lemon.
Listen, no, you listen, he said.
Here's the deal. Sophia takes a paternity test. If, and it's a big if, the kid's mine, we'll talk terms. Until then, we're done. And if we refuse? Richard asked. Then I go public with what Sophia said about me at that party. Plus some interesting texts from our relationship. A bluff, but they didn't know that. Wonder how your firm's partners would feel about Sophia's colorful takes on people's backgrounds. Not a great look for a law firm these days. Richard's jaw tightened. The second lawyer whispered something to him. Fine, Richard said. A paternity test. But discreetly, at our family doctor. Hell no, Mia cut in. Independent lab, separate appointments. Unless you're planning to fake the results too. I shot her a look, but she shrugged. Independent lab works, I said. Tomorrow. As they left, Richard turned back. If you're the father, Ethan, you will step up for my daughter. Mia whistled after they were gone. Man, I wish I'd recorded that. You were ice cold. Just playing the long game, I said, exhausted. Always have. The paternity test confirmed what I suspected. I wasn't the father. I sat on my couch, staring at the email results, feeling hollow rather than vindicated. 2 years with someone who saw me as a novelty. A fling. A stepping stone. Richard called that day. I'd like to meet, he said, sounding drained. Alone. No lawyers. No Sophia. We met at a downtown park. He looked older, lines deeper. Sophia confirmed it, he said, sitting beside me. The father's Derek Ellis, a junior partner at the firm. They hooked up after Nate's party. I almost laughed. Funny. She called him a senior partner at the party. Even her lies come with promotions. I owe you an apology, Ethan, Richard said, catching me off guard. I stormed into your home and threatened you based on her lies. That was wrong. Yeah, it was. I believed her. She's my daughter. He rubbed his temples. Though right now, that's hard to remember. What's next? I asked, not out of care but for closure. Derek's been asked to resign. The firm can't handle the scandal, Richard sighed. Sophia will have support, financially and otherwise, but there'll be consequences. We sat quietly, watching kids play basketball nearby. You know, Richard said, I never got why she was with you, no offense. None taken. But seeing how you handled this, with class restraint, I think I was the one who misjudged. He offered his hand. I shook it briefly. Take care of your daughter, Richard.
And your grandkid. That is what matters.
And you? He asked. I stood. Move on.
Live my life.
And I did. Sophia faced swift fallout. Nate, still tight with his fiancée's cousin at the firm, filled me in. Richard didn't just ask Derek to leave. He cut Sophia off completely. The paternity test was the final straw. After years of bailing her out, the firm was dealing with PR issues, and Richard couldn't risk her drama going public. "Dude, she got kicked out of her ritzy apartment," Nate said over drinks. Richard froze her accounts, took her car, and told her to face the music. She's living with her mom's sister in that sketchy part of town Richard always hated. Poetic justice, I guess. Her social media went dark. No more curated posts or live your truth captions. Derek? He didn't just leave. He was blacklisted from every major firm in the state. Richard saw to it. Now he's stuck in a low-level corporate job in Omaha, sending child support that barely covers formula. I didn't stick around to watch the aftermath. I used the ring money for a down payment on a small storefront near the center. Mia and I launched our own youth basketball program. Things snowballed from there. The NBA kid I coached? He heard about it and reached out, wanting to back the program and lend his name. Suddenly, we had real funding, donated gear, and news coverage.
You know what I love about you, Carter. Mia said yesterday, as we on the sign above our door. You don't get mad, you get better.
I've been thinking about how the worst moments can push you somewhere new. The day after our grand opening, I treated myself to something I'd always wanted, a brand new Jeep Wrangler, Deep Navy.
Nothing flashy, juste dépendable.
Mine.
Paid in full.
No loans.
My first new carré vert.
After years of driving clunkers, worrying about breakdowns, the new car smell and warranty felt surreal. We ran into Sophia at the grocery store. It was bound to happen in
a small city.
She looked different, baby strapped to her chest in a carrier. I pulled into the spot next to her beat-up Toyota, the kind of car she used to mock. The irony wasn't lost on me as I stepped out of my new Jeep. Her eyes widened at the car, then at me in my program-branded shirt and decent jeans. She tried to talk, spinning a sob story about Richard cutting her off, no one hiring her because of her name and the gossip, struggling to pay rent on waitressing tips. I nodded and said, "That's rough." Then I walked away. Not out of spite, but because there was nothing left to say. "Ice cold, Carter," Mia said as we loaded groceries into my Jeep. "You didn't even blink." "Not cold," I corrected. "Just done." Later, as we prepped for the next day's practice, Mia asked, "Ever wonder what would have happened if you hadn't overheard her that night?" I thought about it. Sometimes. But the truth always comes out. Better to know who people are sooner rather than later. "Look at you, all wise," she teased. "Next, you'll be growing a beard and meditating on a hill." "Nah," I grinned. "Just a guy who knows where he fits." Richard called, asking to meet for coffee with a business proposal. I agreed, mostly curious. "I've been following your program," he said, looking out of place in the dive coffee shop. "It's impressive." "Thanks." He slid a check across the table. The amount made my eyes widen. "No strings," he said. "Why?" I asked, not touching it. "Let's say I'm rethinking what matters," he said, looking worn. "And seeing value I overlooked before." I took the check, not for me, but for the kids. Word of Sophia and Richard's drama spread fast. I didn't say a thing, but gossip travels. Some parents from those upscale neighborhoods started enrolling their kids in our program. Turns out, even rich folks respect someone who stands their ground. "You're becoming a myth, Carter," Mia said. "These soccer moms are buzzing about the coach who faced down Richard Grant." "I'm not here for fame," I said. "Just building something solid." But the attention helped. We outgrew our space in a month.